What's up, everybody? It's Coach JB. This week we are breaking down last year's MVP in Giannis Antetokounmpo. This man has risen through the league since he was drafted in 2013, and this week we're looking at how he's scoring in this year's playoffs. Let's get it. Now, before we get into how Giannis is scoring in the playoffs, please do not forget, save this video for later and share it with a friend so this way they're learning as well. Checking out the numbers, these are Giannis's top categories. Isolation has been his top category with 85 possessions, but you can see he only has 76 points from this, and he has an average rating of 0.894 points per possession, so it's not that great. In transition, he has 88 points or 1.086 points per possession, and then cutting is his best one with 57 points and 1.273 points per possession. And then his worst is posting up, and we're going to break that down as well, and that's at 0.674 points per possession. Now, for those of you who do not know, a good rating for points per possession is 1 or above. So looking at his best category, which was cutting, he scores most of his cuts off of a drive. So when his teammate is driving, he's cutting through the lane or on the baseline to get a basket. Everything else was pretty even across the board, whether that be a 45 cut, baseline out of bounds, post middle cut, sideline out of bounds, or everything else. But on the drive is where he is seeing success. Lastly, we'll talk about him posting up. This has been his worst category. When the defense digs or kind of just comes down and tries to swipe at the ball, he's missing the majority of those shots. And that's 10 or 50%. And in addition with that, when he fades left, it's been ugly. 45% of his misses are coming with him fading to the left. Now, for success in the post, he's seeing that he's scoring the best when he's in the mid post. And a lot of this has been with him ripping and getting downhill. All right, so first up is him scoring on cutting when the person is driving the ball. And you'll notice that when he does this, he does not bring the ball down. Now, some of this can't be taught. You can't teach somebody to just catch the ball and dunk over top of people like Giannis can. But what we can learn is that when the drive occurs, he's immediately running down the middle and he keeps the ball high so the defenders cannot swipe down on it and get a hand on it. So as far as what we can learn from his perspective is to cut down the middle to the open area or on a 45, so this way the ball handler can find you and keep the ball high so this way they can't swipe down on it. Now, if we want to learn from a guard's perspective or the ball handler's perspective, just make sure that you understand that when you're driving, it's not all about you, and you have to make sure that you're looking for that open cutter. The other thing you have to make sure is that you're throwing a good pass. It doesn't matter if you find that open cutter, if you throw a bad pass at their feet or you throw it too high and then they miss. All right, now next up are the misses. And like I said before, the majority of his misses are coming from this fade to the left. But what's happening is the defense is digging down. For those of you who don't know what the dig is, you'll see it here. This defender is going to play in between their man and the ball, and they're simply just going to swipe and pretend like they're coming to double, and then eventually you see that Blake actually goes after him. Again, we see it here, dig down, and it's forcing up misses. Giannis is getting uncomfortable and rushing into a fade to the left, and it's making him miss. So word to the wise here, if you have a big that's dominating in the post and they don't pass well out of the post, try digging in with a help defender, and this should help you out. Now, where Giannis is seeing success in the post is around the mid-post area. You see it in two different ways. He's either going to overpower his defender or just simply rip by and use that athleticism to score on them. It's important that you use your advantages. There's no need to go away from this. There's no need to try something new. If it's working for you, then use it. If it's not broke, then don't fix it. See that Giannis is usually creating that contact to get a physical advantage over the defender, and he'll either finish with a hook shot, or we'll see him finish over the defender by overpowering them and finishing at the rim. Two other offensive players who are great at this are Queens University of Charlotte's players Gavin Raines and Jamari Smith. Both of these players will overpower their defender and use their athleticism to finish around the rim. And understand sometimes you might just have an open driving lane, and again, attack that rim and let the defense know that you're there. So again, some keys that we learned from Giannis today: make sure that when you see a person driving, you cut to the open area to receive a pass. Keep that ball high so the defense can't swipe down on it. In the mid post, if the defender is as strong as you, just rip and go by them. And if they're not as strong, then overpower them and get to the rim. Lastly, if you have a big that is crushing you in the post, try to use the dig defensive philosophy to make sure that you rush them or make them just at least feel uncomfortable, like a double team is coming, and this can force them to pass or force up a bad shot. Don't forget, you can save this video for later and share it with a friend so they're learning as well, and let us know in the comments what you think Giannis crushes the defense at and where he could improve.